Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Sense. Today's video is focusing on a single house, and that single house is Hugo Boss. So today we're going to take a look at, get a first impression of Hugo Boss Urban Journey, Boss Bottled Tonic, and also Boss Bottled Unlimited. So when we return, we're going to break into these three fragrances, that and more, so stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. First up in our fragrance journey on this video is another journey. We're talking about Hugo Boss Urban Journey. So why does that word urban seem to pop up a lot of times? Urban just means city. At least it conjures thoughts of city. So it means somebody who's progressive, someone who is right on the edge, has his finger on the heartbeat of the social scene, is someone who is sophisticated, someone who is manly, masculine, somewhat of a socialite, and is an urbanite. We'll discuss the presentation because it kind of follows along with that kind of that idea, or encompasses that whole ideology behind the word urban. So let's go ahead and break into the box, get that bottle out, take a look at the presentation, and see what it kind of conjures in terms of how we feel about the way that it looks. Hugo Boss Urban Journey. This is categorized as a spring and summer fresh aquatic fragrance. Let's take a look at the notes in Urban Journey. In the top, you've got Himalayan whorleflower, orange, and cardamom. In the mid, you've got black tea and a synthetic aroma chemical called cascalone. That's where the aquatic, fresh aquatic water, marine feel comes from. Resting on a base of gaiac wood, sandalwood, and oak moss. So keeping in mind those notes, let's take a look at the fragrance itself on a tester strip. Take a look. I went ahead and primed it during the actual presentation. So that is very, very fresh, very citrusy. It is reminiscent of what? This is, okay, so this would qualify as a fresh kind of shower gel. In the open, what I'm getting, slightly synthetic. So you can definitely tell the cascalone is definitely giving it a fresh aquatic feel, with it's kind of enveloped in a citrusy open. What I really think about this fragrance, and this is very similar for a lot of fresh fragrances, blue fragrances, you can't really tell what they're going to do in the open. The open is just, it's a concept. The open is based on the concept of sweetness, citrus, usually citrus, or bergamot or something like that. So I get the reference. People have compared Urban Journey to Moschino's Forever Sailing, and also I think Moschino's Friends. And I kind of get the comparison. Some people have compared it to Bulgari Man Wood Essence. I don't get that at all. That is very different, very sweet fragrance. This is not super sweet. This is only lightly sweet. This is actually several, it's lightly sweet, lightly citrusy, and almost lightly floral. There's a little bit of a hint to the whorleflower, no doubt, and it's only in that top, so it burns off like it's pretty much not there now that it's dried down quite a bit. Twice on this arm, that's plenty. While this is drying down on my arm, let's talk a little bit. Oh man, that's really nice. Let's talk a little bit about the presentation. Now, I do love the canteen. It's like a military canteen. I do love that presentation. They use it in the original Hugo, Hugo Reverse, Hugo Ice, Just Different, Hugo Now, and also Hugo Urban Journey. I probably am missing one or two because there's quite a few that follow the same presentation in the canteen bottle. But I really like that. In this case, it is kind of a blue-green graphite though. So you've got the graphite texture, which is really nice. Having that Hugo embossed in that red paint makes for a nice contrast. Really like Urban Journey's presentation. Let's get to that dry down though. If you like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense and Aqua Atlantique by Bulgari, chances are you're going to really like Urban Journey. Primarily what this is a hyper versatile spring and summer fresh aquatic fragrance. It is an easy grab, a dumb reach. Casual, day and nighttime wear, nothing bright, new, and different. It's not a challenge at all, but if you're wanting an easy dumb reach for high heat in this summertime, it's gonna be an excellent alternative to your blue fragrance rotation. This next Hugo Boss fragrance came out in the spring of 2017, and I have a feeling that it's gonna be one of those underrated, really nice fragrances, but for whatever reason is in a status of stasis, or a stasis status. In other words, when it came out, it was relatively downplayed. So I'm gonna get my nose on it today. We're gonna check it out. It is Boss Bottled Tonic. So let's go ahead and break into that presentation and check it out. Boss Bottled Tonic. The flat under bottle is very familiar. If you've seen any of the Boss Bottle fragrances at all, or you own them, you've seen this presentation already. In this case, you've got a silver lid and a completely clear glass bottle. So there's no color to the bottle at all. It is clear. I'm getting a sense of a really, really light blue, almost like a tonic. A tonic is typically usually light blue or very light green, or kind of a blue-green tinge to it. And that's going to lead me to believe this is going to be a fresh take on the very familiar Hugo Boss DNA. So I'm hoping that's the case. Was disappointed and let down by Azzaro Wanted Tonic. Hopefully we won't be let down by Bottled Tonic. So let's go ahead and spray it on a tester strip. Again, if you own any of Hugo Boss bottled fragrances, you've seen this presentation before. We're not going to talk a lot about the presentation because of that fact. Atomizer is a standard. Let's do the 3-pump prime. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was almost already, it spit on my tablet over there. Okay. Okay. The more the alcohol dissipates in this, the better I like the actual substance of the oils. This is going to definitely be one that I want to spray on skin. Now, when it comes to the fragrance, the notes, the scent profile, got grapefruit, bitter orange, lemon, apple, ginger, cinnamon, clove, geranium, and vetiver. Typically, I would say tonics are for daytime, primarily daytime, but also some nighttime, but primarily daytime casual wear. I'm actually going to say that this will also afford you semi-formal to formal wear. So it's got kind of that refined cleanness to it that allows it to be worn during, tie affairs or dress semi-formal to formal. Now again, the conjecture is for a lot of Hugo Boss fragrances that the performance is poor and that this will become a skin scent within a very short amount of time. I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to go ahead and spray it on my skin and give you my thoughts about what I think about its projection. I do like the almost patchouli-like dank earthiness to this fragrance. That's not something that you typically see in a tonic. Tonic's more on the aquatic, fresh, maybe even slightly marine side. This is going on the earthy side, and I do really like that a lot better. And I think that's what makes this a little bit unique and a little bit darker. Subsequently, would and should add to its longevity, I'm hoping. But it's projecting on my skin really nice, really nice. It's very warm. It's a warm, welcoming, clean, fresh, complex, dark type of tonic fragrance. So if that's what you're looking for and that's something that you like, you're really gonna like Boss Bottled Tonic. Definitely gonna be a spring and summer only, I would say primarily summertime fragrance, not something that's gonna lend itself well for cooler weather. So again, if you feel like you want something that you can wear to work, where other people can appreciate, but not also blow them out in terms of the strength of the fragrance, this is gonna be something you'll wanna try out for sure. It's gonna be great for work. It's gonna have that elegance so that you can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can be casual with it, and the versatility is off the hook with this, with the exception of cooler weather. This is also going to be great in high heat. It's going to lend itself to working really well, getting some extra longevity because of the heat, but it's not going to blow you out in terms of the heavy-handed burden, as it were, of a fragrance in high heat. not a lot of sweetness to this. So it lends itself very well to that scenario and those situations. Our last Hugo Boss fragrance for first impression is said to be energetic and invigorating, and it is none other than Boss Bottled Unlimited. Came out earlier than these two, as 2014, I believe, and it is said to be an energetic, invigorating fragrance for the man on the go. Hashtag your time is now. What better tagline can you have than that? If you're wanting something to move around with, to be energetic, to be motivational, to help you actualize yourself, then there you go. What better than Boss Bottled Unlimited? So we're gonna bust out that presentation and check it out, and then we'll check out the juice. Absolutely beautiful flak and bottle. It does follow in line with the Boss Bottle presentation in terms of shape and makeup, but I really like the fact that it's all white. Remember Boss Bottle United, somewhere behind me? It's all chrome. It's very similar, except it's white. But the neat thing about this is you got a little bit of a contrast with the highlight of the green. So the actual word unlimited is green. What's really neat, and I did a little close-up there so you could see, the actual reticule of the atomizer is also green. It's a neat little contrast or highlight to have on the bottle itself. Well, leave that lid off because let's go ahead and check out. Now this is a 200 ml bottle, but it does come in various sizes all the way down to, I believe, 30 ml. There's 30, 50, 100, 125, and 200. And this, of course, in anticipation of liking the fragrance, which I thought that I would, I got the bigger bottle. Plus I got a really good deal on it. So that's the nice thing about Hugo Boss. Typically, unless they're brand new fragrances that are maybe a limited edition run like Hugo Now or something, when they first come out, they're a little bit more, but they're very, very economical. I love the fact that they're so accessible to just the average guy. It's gonna smell good, that could potentially become a signature scent. Hugo Boss is a great house for that. Let's go ahead and give it the 3-pump prime. 1, 2, 3. All right. Oh wow, that is nice, very distinctively fresh. And what I really like about this is you can tell right away, without even having to sniff it out or wait for a dry down, that this has that Hugo Boss DNA. You've got that original DNA in this, you can smell it. Anything to me that has apple is gonna be really fresh and really clean. Speaking of fresh and clean, if you've ever tried to clean up your diet and do so by making smoothies, you'll read in any book, it's going to say one of the best flavored smoothies is apple and carrots because of the sweetness, the natural sweetness in both carrots and apples. They make a great combination for a smoothie. No less sweet and aromatic smelling and feeling is the apple note in Hugo Boss fragrances, and it is very prominent in Hugo Unlimited, thankfully. There's a slight briskness or maybe a medicinal astringent that's unique about this. That I really like. I like it. It's very almost herbaceous and green. There you go, green. It's very green, and now that makes sense. The green in the Unlimited. That's the hook. So you've got mint, of course. That mint is what's adding that little bit of zest to the end. That's the little bit of a bait on the end of the hook. So you've got that mint, that refreshing mint. Let's talk about the notes, actually. An aromatic blend of refreshing evergreen notes, such as you've got the mint, you've got grapefruit, it's a really fruity pineapple. You have cinnamon, and surprisingly, there's also rose in here. There's also an iced violet leaf, which I really like, masculine sandalwood, and of course, labdanum and musk. But based on that cool top note of iced violet leaves, this makes this a very, very fruity, aromatic, but slightly herbaceous blue-green, but more on the green side than blue, masculine men's fragrance. This is said to be for the goal-oriented, confident, masculine man. Boss Bottle Unlimited to me is a successful blend of slightly fruity, slightly sweet, lightly herbaceous, even blue-green fragrance that is more green than it is blue, which is really nice for a summertime freshie. This actually has some depth and character, which is really good for a blue fragrance because a lot of them are just very typical and generic and derivative one to the other. This is setting itself apart just a little bit with that kind of a green base. Still got that woody but slightly herbaceous, slightly sweet, green, fruity, aromatic base. For a quick reach, a dumb grab, a safe bet for your summertime freshie, you can't get much better because it rides that fine line between heavy projection, subtle projection. This is going to be perfect for high heat. So this is going to be the guy you want to turn to if you're going to be in a high heat situation, if you're going to be sweating a lot. It's got that great scent profile that isn't heavy-handed when it's pumped up a notch or two. So you're going to really enjoy it. It's going to be great for the office or an office setting, but also again, if you're a manual laborer and you're working out in the sun or an inside project, this is going to be what you'll want to wear and rock out and enjoy. Perfect daytime, nighttime, casual wear. Well guys, that's it for taking a look at some Hugo Boss summer scents. I can't wait to try these out and give you a little bit more detail in terms of a full review of Hugo Boss Bottled Tonic, Hugo Boss Urban Journey, and Hugo Boss Bottled Unlimited. If you've already got good experiences with these fragrances and you own them, please share in the comments below. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my first impressions and unboxing today. As always, thank you so much for your support. I'm Tommy with Studio Scents, and I'll see you next time.